Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, welcome to the Boys at Holiwood Nights. This is my first time at Holiwood Nights in 3 years. I haven't been here since 2022, and I'm here with Ryan, Ellis, and also my brother. Ryan actually hasn't been here since 2021's Holiwood Nights, which we all know how that event went. It was not good, so we're gonna hope things are better this time, and we got backstage to our Raven and Legend later on, so that's something to look forward to. Obviously, I'm excited to ride Voyage with the trims off again, and maintain my streak of riding Thunderbird every year since it first opened alive. Naturally, I'm heading straight up to Thunderbird first because I want to get on that in case it breaks down for the whole event. So all I need is one ride to maintain that streak. So we're gonna go up there, maybe do a couple laps on it while we're up there, and then we'll go down to the Voyage, get a ride or two on that. And then I also got to maintain my streak of riding Good Gravy every year since it opened because I got on it once last year. Need to get on it again. So we'll do that later on today. As for Thunderbird, I am gonna be timing myself to see how fast I can get up there. See if I can get a run faster than 2 minutes and 53 seconds, which is currently my personal best. So I'm gonna be timing myself 4 different times, 3 different vantage points, including the 4th of July staging area, which I'll be doing for 2 of the vantage points. So throughout the vlog, I'll be talking about my times. At the end, I will give you an average time. So make sure you guys watch till the end so you can see just how fast my average run to get up Thunderbird was, and if I managed to beat my personal best. Thunderbird % speed run attempt 1, 2 minutes 53.32 seconds. I don't know how many milliseconds I got the last time I did this, but I tied it to say the least, which is freaking incredible. So I definitely feel like a speedrunner. And unfortunately, I heard Thunderbird's actually opening late today, so they're not open as you can tell right now. But I don't care. I'm waiting it out here. I gotta get on this in case it breaks down for the whole event, which hopefully it opens fairly soon because I need to ride this thing so badly. Thunderbird is now open, so let's get the first ride of the day on this. I freaking love Thunderbird so much. 2 rides on it, front row, left wing, without getting off. It's running as good as ever. Great launch, very smooth, very intense. This is not dropping out of my top 15 anytime soon, I don't think. That right there looks bad, so I'm tempted to try and get a ride on the right wing while I can, and then try and get to the Voyage, but I don't know, that's not looking good. I just got off my 3rd ride on Thunderbird. The ride went down right as we hit the brakes. Ellis, what do you have to say about that?
When we were waiting for a little bit, man, that lightning literally came out of nowhere.
Yes.
And Thunderbird literally lived up to its name, man.
Yeah, and actually look at this Voyage over that. Oh my gosh. But yeah, we were on the waiting brakes, waiting to come back to the station. Lightning struck the cornfield right behind Thunderbird. It was so crazy. We're definitely gonna be closed for a while, which, oh man, this is absurd. Bro, it's literally sideways white rain right now. Like, you can't make this stuff up. Half an hour ago it was beautiful, and now it turned into this. Gotta love Midwest weather, am I right? Here's a look at what it's like on ground level right now. You can see there's a lot of rain, landing in all sorts of weird positions, but I hope it passes sometime soon, but I'm not optimistic about that. I feel like the party's gonna be dead today regardless because of this, but this is crazy, guys. Definitely an interesting start to Holiwood Nights 2025. Oh my gosh, what is this? I don't even know what to say at this point. This is getting ridiculously out of hand. Trying to make a move to get down to Gobbler Getaway, but as you can see, I clearly didn't make much progress as I am right here near this Dippin' Dot stand right near Thunderbird. So I got a little bit of progress, which actually I think we might be starting to see the light at the hotel over there. So hopefully soon this weather will pass and then the rides will reopen. With all the rides being closed, I am surprised Gobbler Getaway is a walk-on right now. I would have expected all these queue bars to be filled, but there's not really anybody, so that's very strange. And you can see they roped off all the cut-through points because they expected the line for this to get huge because of weather, but that's not the case. So we'll see how we do. After a solid ride on Gobbler Getaway and a lengthy weather delay, Voyage is finally open. Every time I ride this for the first time in a year, I like to talk about the coasters that I consider to be elite that I rode since my last time with this, which there weren't very many. The only ones I can think of are Orion, Beast, and Diamondback at Kings Island, and then Outlaw Run, Time Traveler, and also Powder Keg at Silver Dollar City. So there definitely weren't as many this time. And it looks like it's running so good today. I'm so excited to get back on this thing. And let's see if it's still my number 1, which I don't see why it wouldn't be, but things can change. But based on what I've seen, it looks like it's hauling, so I'm excited for this.
The Rattler. I heard Main Street was bad.
It was long.
Oh, have you got on Summer Beast?
No. Unfortunately.
tracks, I think, were a little bit wet still, and that made the ride so ridiculous. And they actually did some traffic on it in the Spaghetti Bowl, so that section was running great, as was the rest of the ride. So yeah, if it's running good just now, I'm so ready to ride it trendless later tonight. But we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
Oh, there they are. Hi!
The backstage tour of Holiwood Nights this year is Raven and Legend, which this will be Ellis's first time going behind the scenes of Raven and Legend, which Ryan's actually done that tour in 2021 because Thunderbird wasn't open for the event, so they did that tour instead of waiting for Thunderbird. That tour is a little over an hour away, assuming the weather cooperates. So I'm gonna do Gobbler Getaway one more time, then go up to Thunderbird, do another ride on that, get some footage of that, and then go wait for the backstage tour to begin. Then I'll do the 2 CCIs after the backstage tour if weather permits. Check over here at Good Gravy after my most recent ride on Gobbler Getaway, which was another really solid ride. And I saw the line was decently long. I think like 20 something minutes, which given how the walk back tour has been about an hour, I feel like I might be cutting it a little bit close if I did that instead of going up to Thunderbird, which if Thunderbird's line isn't too bad, I'll get on that. And then I'll come back to Good Gravy sometime during ERT, which I want a night ride on, because I've actually never done a night ride on Good Gravy before, because the only other time I've been here with that ride open, I wasn't able to stay till dark, and I think the park did close a little bit after I left. And actually, Ryan's actually never done Thunderbird at night, so it'll be cool to get his thoughts on Thunderbird at night later on. But like I said, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Let's head up the hill here and get another ride on this, then get some footage of it. shouldn't have done Gobbler Getaway because now we're in another weather delay. So missed my chance to get my 4th ride on Thunderbird. The backstage tour might be screwed now because it's supposed to last for the next hour, this weather. The backstage tour is less than an hour, so I don't know. It's not looking good. Currently waiting for the backstage tour of Raven and Legend to begin. It's about 2:15 right now, and they have not tested Raven since the storm passed. So I hope by 2:30 at least we're gonna be able to go, but I don't know at this point. Just found out that the backstage tour is gonna be delayed even longer because the pop-up store is supposed to form. And I think what you're looking at is what caused it. So this is definitely not great. Bro, what even is this weather? This is absolutely unhinged. Also, I may or may not have ran into Mark from Coaster Dash for my first time a few minutes ago, so that's exciting. I found out he will probably be getting back to Six Flags St. Louis for his first time since 2021 on Monday. So I might try and get over there and max out just at this round. That would be crazy. Oh my gosh, it got a lot harder than that. Mother Nature, ease up, will ya? Feels like it's been forever since we've seen the sun, given how much it's been raining all day today. And I apologize if this vlog up until this point has been very uneventful. But then again, Mother Nature had other plans, so I can't really change anything about that. Things should get better from here, so keep watching to see what else happens. We're finally doing the backstage tour of Raven and Legend now, and we're doing things a little bit differently. In the past, they started it up by Raven, then worked down towards Legend. They did it the other way around. Oh, looks like we can't be on the thing right here. I didn't realize that. So looks like we're a little too close to the ride, if you will, but that's fine.
Did you say no when I offered to?
backstage tour of Raven and Legend, and it was really solid. That being said, I definitely prefer the backstage tour of Voyage and Thunderbird, mainly because you got to go to Voyage and Spaghetti Bowl, but both tours are really good. Speaking of Raven and Legend, I have not done either of those two yet, so I'm gonna do Raven a couple times, do front and second to back while I'm here. Then we'll go to Legend, give that a couple rides, and then we'll probably go down to Voyage or Good Gravy, because I actually haven't done Good Gravy yet either. So we'll get down there after a while here, but first let's do the two CCIs in the Halloween section.
Clear to fly, bye guys, have fun. Well, back at the weather. Wait a second, I'm really up. Now we'll hold that bar next to your right. Thank you for right. Fly guys, have fun. Over there we get it. Don't look back.
Go to the front. Try to find the boys. You got it.
Raven was running better than last year, but I've seen it run better than my ride just now. Just rode it in the front row, so now let's try the second to back. And you might have noticed Coaster Dash actually in the front row of that last train, believe it or not. Forgot to share my thoughts on the second to back row of Raven when I was at Holiwood, but I thought it was running really good. The fifth drop was hitting, and I even rode with Coaster Dash, which was a lot of fun. For you guys, I did 2 rides on Legend, both of which in the front row. It was running absolutely insane, and it's almost in my top 25. I moved it up about 10 spots, but I don't know if I can put it in my top 25 yet. I need a couple more rides to determine whether or not it goes in there, but I'm seriously tempted to do it. And then I got a second ride on Voyage, also in the front, and it was absolutely insane as usual. Definitely faster than earlier today, and I'm so excited for some trimless rides after a while. The park closes at 7, so they gotta get everybody else out, and then the park will be ours. that I've never gone back all the way over here by Mammoth to get footage of some of these rides. Let's see if the queue line for this, or even Wildebeest for that matter, will give me some good shots of Voyage, Thunderbird, or especially Legend. Cool shot I have of Voyage, and wait a second, there's a skunk way out there. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a skunk in the infield almost of Voyage. That's wild. They're going into the grass now, but there were 3 of them, a mom and 2 babies, so I definitely wouldn't want any part of that. As I was saying before I saw the skunk, I see this view of Voyage. I definitely have to come back here tomorrow and get some shots of it running from right here, because these are 6 vantage points. Seeing as the second trek to Thunderbird is going to be starting here fairly soon once ERT commences, somewhere in this general area will be my starting point for this trek. Since I imagine it'll be a bit longer than the one I did earlier, I think if I can get a sub 3:30, I'll be happy. That's what I'm trying to shoot for. Turns out this is the closest spot you could wait to getting back into the park. So instead of a sub 3:30, I think if I can get a sub 2:35, I'll be happy, because I saved time from coming all the way down here. So I think I can be able to make it up to Thunderbird in less than 2 minutes 35 seconds. We'll see how it plays out though. There's this soundtrack I listened to get up here, and it accidentally turned off. But I kept going, and it took me about 7 seconds to get the thing restarted, and I got a time of 2:32, so it's just barely short, but that's not bad. Let's get some Zen rides on this thing. Just got 3 Zen rides on Thunderbird, 2 on the right wing, 1 on the left wing. This thing gets better every single time I ride it. I love this thing so freaking much. I could have easily got some more rides on it, but Voyage, I imagine, would have a shorter wait right now, so I'm gonna go get some rides on Voyage while that line is short, while people are still at Splash and Safari ERT. I'll come back into Thunderbird when it's darker out, like pitch black. BLJ to a parallel universe and back. I can't even describe just how ridiculous Trimless Voyage is. If you can get out here and ride it at some point in your life, do it, because it is possibly the wildest experience you'll ever have on any coaster. I'm shook with it. Like, oh my gosh, that train's flying. Yeah, I don't know what just happened. First time riding it like that in 3 years, way better than I remembered it being.
It's time to go over 10 backwards on America.
Just got 2 night rides on Good Gravy, 1 in the front, 1 in the back. That was actually my first time riding the back row on that coaster, and I definitely liked the front better. The back was cool for the initial drop, but the spike was better in the front. Plus, I thought it was more intense in the front. So I'd say if you can only ride it once, I'd say do it in the front for this experience. I just got word Ryan is gonna be on this next train on Voyage that's coming out, and so I'll be able to get his initial thoughts to his first Trimless ride on Voyage for the first time in like 4 years, because he was at this event last in 2021, which was the disastrous one. So I'm extremely excited to see him fly over the Twisted Hill right in front of you here, and I'll get his initial thoughts after the fact. I found out him and Ellis are gonna be in the front row as well, so they'll be pretty easy to spot them. Here comes Ryan's train. It's coming back this way. There's the on-ride photo, and there he goes! Oh my gosh, he's on the move. Well, Ryan, what's the verdict?
Oh God, like I'm not even standing here.
You don't know yet? Wait! You're telling me?
That was the best coaster ride of my life.
No, it beat Velocicoaster?
Yeah.
No way. I can't believe it. Like, I did not expect that coming from you. I would have said number 2, but
there is nothing
wow.
like that ever. That is genuinely perfect.
I'm so happy for you that you got to ride it again.
Finally got back on it after so many years.
That was insane. I guess we all share the same number 1 for the time being.
That is perfect. That made me tear up genuinely.
I know, like I thought I would start crying right there.
That was, yeah. We have this 3 hours from our house. It just doesn't make sense at all.
I mean, we're lucky to have Mr. Freeze at our own park, but that might not be around for much longer. We got this thing a couple hours down the road.
Freezes could, but
that's nothing compared to this.
When we got off, I was completely speechless.
Yeah, you came back for that, Ellis?
That is genuinely amazing.
Yeah.
Like, even up to this very day, man, it's still the best roller coaster experience I've had in my life.
Yeah. Are you judging it based on the trimless ride or the normal rides?
Voyage Trimless is the best coaster in the world. Trim Voyage, Velocicoaster beats it.
Top 2.
Yes.
Do you think Airy Force later in the day could beat that?
Yeah.
You think so?
I think genuinely it
I
can.
doubt it.
If Airy Force has those negative 2G moments every single hill on the finale, then yeah.
Well, that's for another day, but still.
A while after we recorded this segment, Ryan told me he would be judging Voyage based on how it usually runs, and this means it's his number 2 coaster. Because he's judging Voyage based on how it usually runs, in other words, the mid-course brake run being turned on, Velocicoaster at Islands of Adventure is still Ryan's number 1.
A little bit ago, I got a front row trimless rain night ride with Ellis. It was running the fastest I've ever seen that thing run. So fast that I would say it was the closest I've ever been to feeling like Sonic. It was going so fast through the first half, and then it went to the mid-course way faster than my trimless ride earlier. And the second half felt like it was going even faster, like exponentially throughout the whole thing. Because of how ridiculous it all was, it is the best ride I have ever had on any coaster. Originally, my favorite coaster ride I've ever had was my second Zen ride on the Incredible Hulk coaster at Islands of Adventure in 2022. This ride on Voyage beat it, so that's how you know it was really good. And I thought that second Zen ride on Hulk would be untouchable. Apparently it's not untouchable because I just had that bonkers ride on Voyage a few minutes ago. And then I got another good ride on Gobbler Getaway, which there was some stacking at the end that was involved, but other than that, it was a very solid ride. They actually closed Voyage's line early, so not gonna be able to get more than 2 trimless rides on it tonight, but that's fine. I got some more time tomorrow, so looking on some more then. I'm gonna go up and get on Legend, get that right on that, and then maybe also do Raven as well if time allows, but I'd rather do Legend at night over Raven. So let's head up to Legend. Just did Legend, and while I thought it was really good, I thought it was more intense earlier today, believe it or not. I don't know, it just didn't really have the same punch for the most part that it did earlier. We got about 10 minutes left of ERT for tonight, so I'm gonna do one ride on Raven and then call it a night. Finished my night with a front row night ride on Raven, and I think I liked it better than my front row night ride on Legend right beforehand. That being said, there's one jolt in the second half that was brutal, and it definitely gave me a little bit of a headache, which I already had one coming on because of Voyage and also Legend to that extent. My final ride count was 6 on Thunderbird, 4 on Voyage, 3 on Legend, Raven and Gobbler Getaway, and 2 on Good Gravy. Overall, I would say today was a very good day despite the weather screwing us over for the first half of it. Let's jump to day 2 and see what happens there. Alright guys, we are back for day 2 of Holiwood Nights 2025. Much nicer weather today. I checked the forecast. We should be clear of rain today, so hopefully today should go smoothly. And you guys obviously know the drill. Gotta go up to Thunderbird, get some more laps on it, because I got only 6 yesterday, which that seems like it's a little low for me. So we're gonna go up there, get some more laps on that, and actually I'm gonna spend a lot of my day getting footage today, because lost about a fourth or so of the day yesterday to weather. So let's go up to Thunderbird, do that maybe 4 times to get up to 10 total for the event, and then figure out what else to do from there, maybe Voyage or so. Since I got to the park a little bit before 10, which is about 9:55 right now. I had to hurry and get into the park, so I was moving pretty fast. I'm a little bit out of breath because of that, which I just got to the staging area about 2 minutes ago. Because of that, I'm not expecting a crazy fast time, but I think if I can get a sub 3:15, I'll be happy. It's also worth noting that there's a lot more people here at Rope Drop, so I feel like the running of the bolts is going to be absolutely absurd. Thankfully, I should be able to outpace everybody and beat everybody else on Thunderbird. Another Zen ride acquired on Thunderbird, and my time was 3:05:42. Disregarding the milliseconds, up until last year, that was my personal best. So I beat a sub 3:15, which was my goal. Let's do a couple more rides while we're up here and then move on.
Holiday World is not. You're right.
To 3 rides on Thunderbird for today, putting me at 9 total for this year. I was gonna do a 4th one, but the line's building up pretty fast, and I figured let's just save it for ERT, or even later on today, like in the afternoon or something. Plus, I did say I was gonna use today as a footage focus day, so that's what I'm gonna be spending most of my time doing. down from Thunderbird to Good Gravy, and I've been getting shots of that for a while. Now I'm gonna check Voyage's line, and if it's reasonably short, I'll give it another go. Otherwise, I'll probably do Gobbler Getaway if that line isn't bad, and then head into Splash Park to get shots of Legend. While it was the smoothest I've ever seen it run, really towards the back of the train, it definitely gave me a bit of a kink in my neck. So I definitely like the front row better on this one. But it was still a really good ride though regardless. Airtime was hitting, very intense. It was a lot to take though. The Gobbler Getaway was a walk-on, so I figured let's give it another go while we're in the area.
that is done. That's it. Oh, yeah.
is the one I need to go up to really see Legend, because you get really good shots of it from this queue line, especially since it goes right over. And actually, it's going up into that turn right over there. So that's really cool to see Legend flying all around the slide structures and Splashlands Park, because in all honesty, the water park is your best chance of seeing Legend come off ride, at least for the first half. So we're definitely taking advantage of it and doing that before the water park closes, which it closes at 6 and it's almost 4. So we got a little over 2 hours to get as many shots as we can. Thunderbird from Zimbabwe. Now let's go up Zynga's queue and see what we can find from up there. And then once that's done, we'll start making our way back through the water park and eventually head over towards where Cheetah Chase was and get some shots of Voyage from that area I was at last night. Racer, which is their mat racer here at Holiwood World, was the last slide structure I went up to get shots of Legend. Now I'm gonna go over to where Cheetah Chase is, get some shots of Voyage, and then from there I'm probably gonna go outside of the park to get some shots of Raven, then come back into the park and get some more rides and stuff, and maybe I'll do Voyage before going outside the park to film Raven if that line's short.
This racing ride creates forces and speeds that may not be suitable
station weight ride on good gravy. The line wasn't through any of the switchbacks, which is very surprising. Usually I see them mostly full, but none of the switchbacks are filled, so it was a station weight. I checked Voyage's line and it was pretty long, so I'm gonna head outside the park, get some shots of Raven, and then I'll come back into the park before it closes, and then we'll wait for ERT to start. There is a bunch, and I mean a bunch of Canada geese right here. You can see there's multiple adults and a lot of babies. So definitely not gonna be going anywhere close to these guys. And actually one of them started hissing at me and rushing at me when I did absolutely nothing to it. I was just walking by and it thought I was coming after it, which I'm like, bro, chill. So do not mess with the Canada geese if you see them with babies. They are very aggressive. Just got the last ride of the night on Voyage, at least in terms of the normal operating hours. Was gonna do it in the front row, but then they said everyone had to go to a different row, so I got second and back row again. It didn't really mess up my neck this time compared to my ride earlier today, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now we gotta wait a little bit for the park to clear out of the general public, and then hopefully around 9 o'clock we'll be back in the park for ERT. This will be the next vantage point I time myself to get up to Thunderbird from. I'm not sure how far back this pathway goes compared to the one I've been doing, like from the 4th of July staging area, like at park openings, so I think if I can get, I don't know, sub 325, I'd be happy, because I'm just guessing at this point. I don't know how far back back. I'd have to go, which we'll see how long it might take when we get there. But for now, we gotta play the waiting game and wait for ERT to begin. A lot of enthusiasts waiting to get back into the park. I think our running of the bulls is imminent. That was my worst time yet. 3 minutes, 41.43 seconds. And there was, in fact, a running of the bulls. And I had to overtake everybody. So that was my last 100% speed run. Make sure you guys keep watching, because coming up here, I'm gonna reveal how much total time I spent speed running this and my average run time. Somehow I had my Zen ride boiled on this, but how did you get one?
I got one! First Zen ride on this thing ever. So good.
Yeah.
Front row, left wing, outside, so good.
My brother somehow was right there behind me the whole time. I didn't even realize it. When we got on the station, I'm like, no way.
I watched the whole time. You guys ran. You missed out.
Ryan, you did something kind of crazy on this ride. You want to tell people what exactly is going on here?
So right wing, backside. My right shoulder comes out of the vest.
Yeah.
0G roll, and my left shoulder comes out on the hardline roll. That past ride we did, left shoulder came out on the 0G roll, both shoulders on the hardline roll, and I hit the grab bars with my shoulder.
No way.
Ridiculous same time sensation.
But I'm talking about the method, and you know exactly what I'm referring to.
The Big Red Method!
You might be thinking to yourself, what is the Big Red Method? Based on what Ryan told me, the Big Red Method is getting a whole cup of Big Red from one of the Pepsi Oasis stations, drinking all of it, and riding Thunderbird immediately after. Ryan said doing this gave him butterflies and made him feel a bit wonky. I personally didn't do this because it sounds like something I wouldn't enjoy, but if you try the Big Red Method for yourself, let me know if you notice a difference in your ride experience on Thunderbird in the comment section, because I'm intrigued to see how it affected all of you.
I've been saying this thing is a B&M invert in disguise.
Moved up from 56 to 40 this trip.
I moved it up from my number 13 to my number 12 because I freaking love this ride. Just got my second triplets ride on points for the night, and also my last triplets ride for the event. I say that because A, we got about an hour left of ERT. 2, the line for Voyage is quite long. 3, I want to do a couple other things. Like I want to get one more lap on Gobbler Getaway, which is what I'm doing right now. I also want to do Thunderbird a few more times, as well as Raven and Legend. So that's why I'm opting to not do Triplets Voyage one more time. But hey, my triplets ride that had this event were phenomenal. My 5th and final ride on Gobbler Getaway for the year was the best of the 5 I've had this year. 25-20, no stacking, so it was an unbelievable run. As for which car it was, I do not remember, but it was freaking insane. I was so dialed in. Now let's go get a couple more laps on Thunderbird to put me up to, I think, 15 on it for the event. And then I'm gonna go get a ride on Raven and Legend to end my day. Just got my final ride on the right wing for the trip, and I just got word from Ellis that they shut Voyage's line off early, which doesn't surprise me because it was really long. Longer than it was last night during ERT. So I'm happy with my triplets rides I got. I think I only got 4 this year, but better than none compared to what I had the last few years. I didn't get anything between 2023 and 2024. Although 2023 did have that one weird ride where the second half felt identical to a triplets ride despite the mid-course actually hitting, so that was interesting. Just got up to 15 rides on Thunderbird for Holiwood Nights this year. It wasn't as many as the last Holiwood Nights I attended, in which I got 20, but I still had some phenomenal rides on it, especially the one yesterday where the lightning struck next to us in the cornfield. So Thunderbird, it's been real. See you next year. Just got my final ride on Legend for the event, and it was awesome as usual. Yesterday I said I was contemplating whether I should put it in the top 25 or not, but I decided to wait until I rode today. And after my ride just now, I don't think it's top 25 for this, so it's just outside of it, but it's still a really good CCI. From one good CCI to another, let's finish off Holiwood Nights 2025 with the Raven. My night ride on Raven marks the end of 2025's Hollywood Nights for me. And my final ride count for day 2 was 9 on Thunderbird, 4 on Voyage, 2 on Gobbler Getaway, and then 1 on Good Gravy, Legend, and Raven. In terms of my final ride count for both days of this event, I'll review that and share that with you guys momentarily. In terms of my ride count from the entire event, it was 15 on Thunderbird, 8 on Voyage, 5 on Gobbler Getaway, 4 on Legend and Raven, and then 3 on Good Gravy. In terms of highlights, getting to ride trimless Voyage again for the first time in 3 years was amazing. That one trimless front row rain night ride that Ellis and I had yesterday. Going backstage at Legend and Raven was really cool. Also meeting Coaster Dash for the first time was really cool. Didn't feature him in the vlog because I know he's busy, but it was still really cool to meet him. Getting some awesome rides on all the coasters was really good. Hanging out with Ryan and Ellis, my brother. It was overall a fantastic time. Was this the best Hollywood Nights I've been to? No, I would still say 2022's was better, mainly because the weather screwed us up yesterday. Now, let's take a look at the stats that I got during my Thunderbird percent speed runs, if you will, and see what my stats were for this thing. I'm disregarding the amount of milliseconds I got with each run in my calculation, but after adding up my 4 times, I got 12 minutes and 11 seconds, which is 731 seconds. That's the total time it took me to get up to Thunderbird between all 4 runs that I did. After dividing 731 by 4, I got 182.75 seconds. Round that up, that's 183 seconds, meaning my average time across my 4 Thunderbird percent speed runs was 3 minutes and 3 seconds, which I think is a pretty good pace. Would I have liked for it to have been a sub 3 minute average? Sure, but the fact that I got a low 3 minute pace on average is pretty dang impressive, especially since I had to trek uphill 4 different times while against the clock, if you will. But yeah, I figured that would be something more sharing to end out the vlog here. And before I click off this video, please be sure to leave a like if you haven't done so already. Be sure to comment what you enjoyed about this video and be sure to share it with someone else you may know. If you're new to the channel, like what you saw, please consider subscribing for more content like this. I'd appreciate you subscribing and tell the bell and to get notified every time I upload a new video. I also have an Instagram account for the pictures I take whenever I visit the park, so you can check me out there as well via the link in the description. As for my next vlog, I should be getting back to Six Flags St. Louis sometime over the next 2 weeks, and I might actually be able to get back there on Monday and actually find out Coaster Dash might be there, so I might show my skills on Dustin that day. And if that's the case, that's something to look forward to, so stay tuned for that. Until then, I'll see you later.